that which we have no knowledge of. How can the question of belief or disbelief even arise for it? For me too, ghosts and spirits were nothing more than stories. I had never seen them, never felt them, so I had no reason to believe in their existence. My world was grounded in logic and science. But I later realized that sometimes knowledge does not come from books. It comes from experiences where fear itself becomes the teacher. In those days, I lived in Allahabad. I was preparing for competitive exams and my friend Chandrasekhar was with me. Both of us were chasing the same goal. One day, due to a dispute with the landlord, we had to vacate our room. We didn't have enough money to immediately rent another place. At that time, Chandrasekhar's brother-in-law offered us a place to stay in the lodge he ran in his house. It was an old 2-story building. His family lived downstairs. And upstairs there were a few rooms rented out to students. While having dinner that night, his brother-in-law told us something in a serious tone. He said there was something wrong on the upper floor. According to him, there was a spirit there that didn't harm anyone, but disturbed people at night, sometimes pressing their neck, sometimes sitting on their chest. Hearing this, we both laughed. We thought it was nothing but imagination. We even joked that we were so tired every day that no ghost could wake us up. He simply said that he had done his duty by warning us. For a few days, everything was normal. We studied all day and slept soundly at night. But gradually, I began to feel a strange fear. It felt as if someone was watching me from behind. Sometimes a chill would run down my spine. Sometimes a corner of the room would suddenly feel cold. At times, I would hear heavy footsteps on the terrace at night. I kept convincing myself that it was just stress or imagination. But the fear kept growing. I even walked deliberately into dark corners to prove to myself that nothing was there. Yet the uneasiness never left. One night we all were sleeping on the terrace because of the heat. Around 10 o'clock, I saw something. Near the water tank, there stood a dark figure. It had the shape of a human, but was far darker. Like darkness itself had taken form. It had no face, no clothes, just a dense black silhouette. And I could clearly feel that it was looking at me. A wave of cold fear passed through my body. I kept staring at it silently. The friend lying next to me asked what happened, but I said nothing. And then, in the very next moment, that figure disappeared. That night, I couldn't sleep at all. I understood that it was not an illusion. The next morning, the atmosphere in the lodge had changed. One of the senior students was packing his belongings. When asked, he said he was leaving the room. On being questioned further, he said with trembling voice that someone had strangled him during the night. He felt someone sitting on his chest, pressing his throat, and he couldn't even scream. Hearing this, I was stunned. I immediately asked if it was a black shadow. He turned to me in shock and said yes, he had seen the same black shadow. Now I was sure that what I had seen was real. It was no longer just my fear. Someone else had experienced it too. After this, fear spread throughout the lodge. No one wanted to stay alone. Then came another terrifying night. Around midnight, we heard someone shouting from the next room. We rushed there and found a boy named Suresh sitting on his bed, trembling. He said someone had just slapped him hard. We looked around, but no one was there. The door was locked from inside. We returned, thinking he might be panicking. But soon after, Chandrasekhar, who was lying next to me, suddenly jumped and said he too had been slapped. After that, it became a pattern. Whoever dozed off would get slapped. Some felt hits on their head, others on their back. We all gathered in one room out of fear, turned on the lights and decided to stay awake till morning. But even while awake, it kept attacking us. It was among us, terrifying us and mocking our helplessness. That night was the longest night of our lives. We were all terrified and completely helpless. Logic, education, strength, everything was useless in front of that unseen force. All we could do was wait for morning. As soon as dawn arrived, an eerie calm returned to the lodge. Everything seemed normal again, but none of us could forget what had happened. No one argued, no one tried to reason. Silently, we all packed our belongings and left the lodge. His brother-in-law didn't try to stop us. Perhaps he already knew everything? Even after so many years, that incident is still alive in my mind. I no longer laugh at things I don't understand. I did not choose ghosts, but they chose me to prove their existence. That night shattered my logic and disbelief. Even today, on quiet nights, I sometimes feel that same chill down my spine, and I instinctively turn back to look. That black shadow still stands in my memories.